Preschool Matters. As you saw, that is the title of this video. And that is true now more than ever before as our community and communities around us struggle with meeting the needs of all of our students during virtual learning. My name is Jamie Malinak, and I am the Director of the Department of Early Learning and Title I. Our school year in Norfolk Public Schools will begin with remote learning, and that includes remote learning for preschool students. The most common question I am getting, what does remote learning look like for a 4-year-old? Instead of relying on my words and explanations, I have asked one of the many amazing preschool teachers in Norfolk Public Schools to help answer this very important question. But before we jump into her Zoom classroom, here are some important things for you to know as you decide whether to enroll your child into our preschool program this year. Your child will need a computer device and Wi-Fi access so that he or she can participate in the live online classes. If your child does not have a device like a laptop or an iPad, or you don't have Wi-Fi service, no worries. Your school will provide one for you to use for remote learning. Your child will not spend all day on the computer. We are preparing for no more than 45 to 60 minutes daily of live online learning. Your child's teacher will provide you with access to at-home learning activities that support the daily online lessons and strengthen learning. If your child will be attending daycare during the day, we are actively working with Norfolk's childcare providers so that they can help students log on to Zoom and attend their classes. We are also working to have lessons taped so you can access them at other times of the day if needed. And lastly, we hope to bring our preschool students back to in-person learning as soon as it is safe to do so. Okay, ready to go on a Zoom field trip? We're going to join Ms. Danielle Sense, a preschool teacher at Easton Preschool, as she prepares for the upcoming school year. During our trip to her classroom, check out a sample of an online class she had with her students recently.
Today we are reading Llama Llama Red Pajama. Baby llama wants a drink. Mama's at the kitchen sink. What do you think, Leah? Why is baby llama calling for his mama?
Because he left alone.
Because he was left alone? And how do you think he feels about that?
Sad and scared.
Gabby thinks that if baby llama had maybe some walls up, that would be really helpful for him and it would help him feel better.
And he had a door on his bed.
Well, look.
And it was a teleportation in his bed so he could teleport all the way downstairs.
Hi, Ms. Sense. Thank you for letting us visit your Zoom classroom and to talk with us a little bit about preschool. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing very well. So our parents have a few questions to ask, and I think you are the perfect person to give us some details and advice about the upcoming virtual learning environment. So I'm going to dive right in if that's okay.
Yes.
So last spring, you helped students learn remotely when school first shut down for the pandemic. Tell us a little bit about the virtual class setting and how you adapted your teaching to meet the needs of our youngest students.
In order to meet the needs of our young students in the virtual setting, we focused a lot on continuing to maintain positive relationships between both the students and the teachers. We also continued to work on an adapted version of classroom rules, such as why is it important to wait for your turn to speak to the group? So to encourage both of these important skills, we would allow each student to choose a classmate or a teacher they wanted to share something with and allow them to have a conversation with whomever they chose. This way, we were able to continue to build relationships and prepare the students for a smooth transition into kindergarten.
I love that the students were still able to communicate with each other and engage. So how can parents help virtual learning be successful for their child?
Well, first and foremost, we simply ask for families to be their child's number one advocate when it comes to learning, especially during these uncertain times. Because our preschoolers are still so young, it's extremely important that we can build relationships between families, teachers, and students. This way, when we make the transition into the classroom, the relationships will already be in place for a successful school year. We would ask that families help their child by logging onto Zoom for live sessions, collecting materials they may already have at home to make an activity more meaningful, and just simply getting excited about each new school day to set a positive example for their child.
Sounds like it'll be a very strong partnership between the school and home. Can you give us an example of an at-home learning activity that students might be completing with their family, and tell us how that would support your Zoom class instruction?
Absolutely. The beauty of virtual learning this year is that our curriculum is already online at our disposal. So teachers will have the ability to send home family-friendly versions of any lesson that would be completed in the classroom or during our live Zoom sessions. These documents would have all of the information families would need in order for their child to complete the activity with clear instructions. So an example of this could be collecting items outside that come from a tree, such as pine cones, leaves, sticks, etc. We would then ask the families to help their child sort those items into different categories, such as by size, by color, pointy or non-pointy, or other characteristics. But again, all of this information would be written out for the families to follow. This would then support our Zoom class instruction by coming back as a class and discussing how each student decided to sort their items. Our focus for virtual learning is to support the families and build relationships with the children and teachers for a smooth transition back into the classroom.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for talking with us. So parents, as you can see, virtual preschool can still provide wonderful learning opportunities for your student. If you haven't applied for our program yet, please visit www.npsk12.com/fed to get more information and to download an application. You can also email me at preschool@npsk12.com to ask any questions as you make this important decision. Spots are limited, so we would love to get your child enrolled as soon as possible so that he or she can begin the school year with the rest of their class. We hope to see you online soon. And remember, preschool matters.